Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott, and there is Dave right next to me. And today we are kicking off 2024 with Rob Reiner's classic, When Harry Met Sally. Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, Carrie Fisher, Bruno Kirby. And that's all I remember, but there's probably a few more others that have popped up in there. But before we get going, folks, thanks again for joining us, and I'm glad you're here with us in 2024. So hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and tell your friends about us. Drop us a line, please. We're hungry for mail. And go ahead,
love
Dave.
attention. We love attention. There was a guy in the movie that was Meg Ryan's boyfriend as Billy Crystal's walking by.
Yeah, Joe or something like that. Yeah.
So, Stephen Ford. It was Gerald Ford's son.
Are you kidding me?
Kat caught on to that. She's like, "Was that Gerald Ford? Was that President Ford's son?" I said, "I don't know."
What is with Kat? You don't need IMDb if you have Kat with you.
Like if she was in the other room, I would just be calling out questions. But she's never in the other room, almost never. And I think I've done it on the show a couple of times when we're talking. I'm like, "I don't know, hey Kat," she'll shout back the end. She already knows the question that's coming because I asked her 3 times the night before. But I thought that was funny. Stephen Ford was the guy. Real quick, what this movie is about is Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal's characters. Billy Crystal plays Harry Burns. Meg Ryan plays Sally Albright. And then you have Princess Leia that plays Mary and Bruno Kirby who plays Jess. And those are their 2 friends. Well, they're young college. It starts out as young college students going cross country from Chicago to New York.
Now, hold right there before we get any further. This is one of the things I was watching this, and at the very beginning of the movie, they're just leaving college, so they're 20 something. Yeah, and I'm looking at Meg Ryan. It's like, my God, she's a baby. And so I was like, I gotta look up the age. At the time of filming this, she was 27. Billy Crystal was 41.
Billy Crystal was 41.
Yes.
Dude, because he looked like he was in his 20s when he started.
He did, and it's like it's like, wow. Anyway, that's like, damn.
What Kat and I were talking about. I said, this is amazing because they age him like what, almost 20 years.
Yeah, pretty much. Years, like little five-year increments as the story goes.
And every time you see them, they're a little bit older and a little bit older, and then they're in their 20s or mid-30s. And I looked at Kat, I said, this is amazing, the makeup job that they did. And these 2 look so good that they could pull that off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it starts out with them as 41. Son of a bitch.
I know, right?
Starts out with them in college, and they're traveling across country. He is exactly what I was at about that age.
Oh, an asshole.
An asshole. But not just an asshole, but a smart asshole who thinks he's helping. He thinks he's helping.
He does. He's obnoxious. But yes, you see that.
And Meg Ryan is just sweet. I mean, she orders her food in weird ways. I've met people that do that. I've known people who do that. And she comes off as kind of rude and above you. But she's not. She's not meaning to. That's just her personality. She's not meaning to be rude to anybody. She doesn't mean to be condescending if you take it that way. So Billy Crystal has kind of quickly accepted this. He doesn't understand it, but even on the first
he's good with it.
And then they stop. They leave. They go their separate ways after they get to New York. And Meg Ryan is kind of not upset, but she's kind of sad. They've driven 18 hours cross country.
Yeah, and he's just like,
and he's just like, yeah, well, I don't think we're going to be friends because, you don't like me, I don't like you, kind of, or whatever they say. And they go their separate ways. 5 years later, in an airport, Meg Ryan is there, kissing her boyfriend goodbye. Billy Crystal's character walks by, and he turns around. He like spots somebody, and you think he spotted Meg Ryan.
Nope,
but he hasn't. He's spotted her boyfriend. They have a little talk. They meet on the plane. Meg Ryan thinks, oh, great, this guy doesn't recognize me. I'm gone. This is great. They meet on the plane. They talk on the plane for however many hours they're flying. 5 years later, they meet again. And then I think it's another 4 or
It
5 years
just it
later.
just keeps happening.
But it's only once every like 4 or 5
Yeah.
years they meet. The last time they meet, they actually become friends. They actually
Yes.
start becoming friends. And that's the whole build up to this is absolutely a beautiful build up.
Well, let me yes, it is, and it's only done possible by the casting in this.
Yes. Yes.
Every movement, every facial expression that Meg and Billy make, I believe 100% I am watching Harry and Sally. They
Yes.
live and breathe it, and it is so natural. And it's those two are just wonderful. One of the things that caught my attention early on is, folks, I've seen this movie countless times, but
Uh-huh.
the last night when I watched, when they're in a bookstore, look at the titles of the books by each
Yeah.
person.
I told Kat, I said, we have a couple of those books. The Mythic Tarot. I have that
Yeah,
book.
but they all, everything in the background is relative to the scenes in this movie.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
this
They're
is
all
such a well
self-help
thought out
books.
thing, and it's like, wow, that was really cool. And
That's
I love is they're friends,
yeah.
and they're trying to set each other up, which they get their best friends Bruno Kirby and Carrie
Yeah.
Fisher,
Yeah.
who do not like, I mean, who don't, they tried to set them
Nothing
up with each
clicks.
other. Yeah,
Bruno
nothing
Kirby does
clicks.
not click with Meg Ryan,
No,
and
and
Carrie
Carrie
Fisher
doesn't.
does not click with Billy Crystal. They're just but they're talking at cross purposes at one point,
Yep.
and Carrie Fisher's character says she quotes something that Bruno Kirby had written. His character had written, not
Yeah.
knowing that he had written it.
But
And Bruno
yeah.
Kirby he turns around, "Hey, I wrote that." And she's like, "What? Hey, I wrote that. I did."
And
She
that
goes,
was
"I
it.
just read that." And she goes, "I've never quoted anybody in my life." And they just hit it right off. And you just see Billy Crystal, Harry, looking over at Meg Ryan, Sally, and they just realize this. They've just hooked up. There's nothing,
Mhm.
we tried, we tried to hook
Well,
us
and
friends to
that's
hook
just it. And that's
together.
as we're watching this movie, you know, you're you're waiting. You know where it's going to go. You know
Yeah.
how it's. And
Oh,
as
it's
you're
so
screaming
such
for
a,
them to stop being so blind, everything is right in front of their face, and they just
it's,
cannot see that they are meant for each other.
this is Nora Ephron at her finest in
Oh yeah.
writing. Nora Ephron, I think, wrote Mixed Nuts too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm.
I think, which is another really good movie. I think we just did that one. Go watch that. We did
We
not.
have
What
not. We
Mixed
have
Nuts?
not. No, we have not.
What did we do last? I watched Mixed Nuts. I think I wanted to do Mixed Nuts. Next year, Christmas, we're going to do Mixed Nuts. But it's
There we
another
go.
Nora Ephron movie. Really good character development, kind of quirky characters.
Mhm.
This one, she just sets this up early and she just drags it
Oh,
over a 20-year period. How do you do that? How do you
it's
make
so well written.
it was so well done? And the thing
Yeah,
is, you don't ever doubt that these two people would run into each other where they run into each other.
I know.
It's not like you're watching a show where you're like, "Oh, that would never happen." Because I've run into people in New York that I knew.
Well, well,
Yeah,
Billy Crystal even makes a
walking around.
comment.
It's
Oh,
like,
a city of 8 million people.
yeah,
Who would have thought we run into each other? Yeah,
I'm bound to run into her.
I'm bound to run into
It's
you.
fine.
Yeah.
But but it's funny because I have run into people that I knew in the
Oh yeah.
city. They've yelled across the street, or I've seen them and they'll yell, "Hey, man!" And it's like, how the what are the fucking chances?
I know.
Or
I've
you
run
see
into
some. I'm sorry.
people
Go
that
ahead.
I knew hundreds of miles away. At an
Yeah,
amusement park somewhere or a
yeah.
store, and it's like, what?
Uh,
So
but it's just the story of how they start from
yeah,
where they are as college kids to mid 30s, early mid 30s,
yeah,
when they finally realize we should have been dating and married and had 15 kids already.
yeah.
It's just such a good story. Nora Ephron does it so well. Rob Reiner, as much as I think he's a twat as a human
He's a
being,
great
he is
director.
a great director.
He is
I
an
will
awesome
never
director.
take that away from him. I could not in good heart or good standing say he sucks as a director. He's a
No.
great,
Yeah.
fantastic director. I'm looking forward to the second
Spinal
Spinal
Tap.
Tap
Oh
movie.
yes. Oh
I
yes. You
really
know it'll
am.
be brilliant.
I thought that was just a rumor, but whenever you told me the other
No.
day that it was actually happening, I was like, "Oh, crap, really?
Yeah.
All right." Uh, Carrie Fisher plays a great character in this. She's Meg Ryan's best friend. I don't know how long they've known each other, but I'm guessing they've known each other quite a while. She's
Yeah.
dating a guy who's married.
Oh no,
Every girl,
this is a running thing.
yeah,
Look
through
at how
about
much
half the
time
movie.
passes through about half the movie. All these time skips. She's still dating this married man. He's never going to leave her, is she? No.
No,
Okay.
no. And all her girlfriends keep saying she's never going to leave his wife. He's never going to leave. And then Carrie Fisher will look at one of the friends or look usually at Meg Ryan and go, he's never going to leave her.
Yeah.
No, Meg Ryan says no, we're not. And Meg Ryan is so damn adorable in this movie.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't ever remember seeing her in a movie that I didn't think she was just adorable in. I know she tried to go do some serious acting chops, and God bless her for it. I'm not, but for me, I just want to see Meg Ryan in romantic comedies. I that's just it. I
Yeah.
am pigeonholing. And I know it's the worst thing to do to an actor or a writer.
Mm.
But when I see Meg Ryan trying to do something really serious, I'm like, I don't want to see. Oh, where's Billy Crystal?
You know, it's kind of
Where's your
like
love
when
interest?
yeah. But some can do it. If you look at Robin Williams, who
Yeah,
everybody freaked out when he went serious, and it's like,
yeah.
wait, dude
But
can
he's really
act.
good. He's really
So
good,
yeah,
and she is a good actress. I have
yeah.
seen. I just it's just my
It's just
personal
weird. You
preference.
get
She's
yeah.
just so adorable. You're like, oh, nobody can hurt Meg Ryan. I'll have to take you out. But Billy Crystal, I don't know if they ever did another movie together. I think they did one. I think he was a basketball coach or something.
Yeah, I don't recall. I don't
I
recall.
can't remember, but I
But
want to
they
say
have such great chemistry in this movie. It's like I said
why they
earlier. It's
haven't
just
done any more is beyond me. I think it's
yeah.
a damn sin that these two haven't been in another
Wouldn't it
romantic comedy.
wouldn't it be funny? And I know this isn't true, but it'd be absolutely hilarious if they hated each other during filming this movie because you would never believe it because they're such phenomenal actors.
I
Yeah.
swear to God, I can't imagine that. I honest to
No,
God
they
cannot imagine those
I
two.
think yeah.
There was such good chemistry, and I
Oh,
swear, if you found out that they hated each other in real
that would
life,
be wild.
I would be I would be dumbstruck. I would think those in that case, those are the two greatest actors on the planet.
Exactly.
Nobody is better
Yeah.
because they just
Yeah. Amazing.
when when they finally when they finally do the deed, the expression on her face, she just got this lovely, beautiful, her hair's
And
flowing,
he
it's
is
all over,
terrified.
it's on him, and it's just like she's gorgeous, she's a little angel, and she's just kind of pecking him on the cheek, and the camera kind of comes over to his face, and his eyes are wide. You can see the sheer panic of what the fuck did I just do? I just had sex with my best friend, and
He's
I gotta
so
get out of
afraid that he
this.
is yeah, he's so afraid that he had destroyed their friendship
Yeah.
that that's all he focused on and didn't see that their friendship actually evolved and he was
Their
terrified.
friendship is
So,
why they could do that
yeah.
because that's yeah. But I understood. Like Kat was looking at me like or talking, said something. I think she said something to the effect of, "Wow, he's kind of being a jerk." I said, "No, from a man's point of view, I understand why he didn't want to ruin, like you said, he didn't want to ruin the friendship. And as soon
Yeah.
as he thought he ruined the friendship, that's when he started panicking, and he didn't
Yeah.
know how to express it. And then when
Yeah.
she was
And that
like,
was the problem. Yeah.
he saw that he was panicking. So she says, well, let's just forget. He's like, oh, thank God. Like, I think he thought he was out of the woods. But by saying, oh, thank God, it made
It
her feel
was
like shit instead of him saying, hey, look, I think we need to talk about it. And this is, I'll tell you
yeah.
how I feel. But people don't really do that
No,
in
people
real life.
don't do that, dude.
But he did.
Yeah. I mean, that's as I say.
That for
Yeah.
Nora Ephron to be able to write this. Oh, God, she was such a good writer.
Hmm.
And she wrote the females as well as she wrote the males and vice versa. Very
Yeah.
few female writers, I think, get a man's voice and can understand it. And very few male writers, without much interpretation from their wives or input from girlfriends and other females, have a hard time getting a female's voice. I think so. She did. Oh goddamn! Kudos to her. She did a good job
That's
getting the
so good.
panic of a man getting the panic of a man who just thinks he made the biggest mistake and destroyed a friendship,
Hmm.
and the panic of the woman thinking, "Well, he doesn't love me, and I'm screwed, and screw
And
him."
yeah.
You
They were
know, it
both
was
wrong. They
so
were
good.
both
Yeah, they're
wrong, and
both
that was
wrong.
just
He was more wrong. I'll be honest with you. I think he
oh
was more wrong instead of just
yeah,
going, "Hey, look."
yeah.
But I like how he started trying to make up for it whenever he realized, "Oh shit, I'm going to
Oh
lose my
my
best
God,
friend."
did he ever try? He pulled
Oh,
out all
that
the
was
stops.
so good that he just kept trying and trying and until he forced her to talk to him. And then she
Yeah.
finally picks up the phone and they talk a little bit and he realizes, I think when she hangs up, I think is when it really dawns on him, I am in I'm in love. This is the
Yeah.
woman I should have married. This is when I think it kind of clicks. I should have married her. I should have married her a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Took
What am
him
I
so
thinking?
long to get there.
Yeah.
The audience is, we're sitting back on the couch screaming,
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes in,
Oh,
it's
you
like,
idiot! What are you doing?
yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in that whole movie starts out early on. They're driving cross country. It's like 5 minutes into the movie. He's got all
Oh,
the
those
fucking
grapes.
grapes. You want a grape? I don't eat in between meals, and she's all happy. She doesn't eat in between meals, and he's got a pit. And he goes to spit, and he spits on the window. And Mick Ryan's just looking at him, and he's like, "Oh, I'll roll down the window." Because he thinks the window's rolled down, so he's gonna spit it out the
Yeah,
window.
and it
The first time,
sticks right to the glass.
God, the first time I saw that at the theater, I think I saw this at the theater the
Mm.
first time. I cried. That was like I just cried laughing. It was so damn funny.
Well, I didn't do any research I should have to see, but I really felt that there was probably a lot of improv from Billy Crystal in this.
I'm thinking when they were walking through the museum,
Yeah,
natural
yeah.
history, not the Natural History Museum, the museum in New York. I think when he's talking in that voice, I think that was because Meg Ryan looked like she was really gonna start just laughing.
Hmm.
Like
But they went with it. Yeah.
whenever she realized he was telling her, "No, you gotta talk like this," and
I was like,
that
what?
was that was funny. That's the
Yeah.
kind of shit that I used to do to Kat whenever we walked around. I would just do shit and make noises and she would just look at me like, "Oh, could you please stop?" And I'd be like, "No, I gotta," and I just keep going. People would be looking at me, looking at her, and she'd just be like, "Oh God," her face would be red. I'm that guy. I am Billy Crystal. You'll never see me and Billy
Oh,
Crystal in the same room at the same time.
all
Just the
right
thing.
then. When do we get City Slickers 3, Mr. Crystal?
Those are two movies we can do. I love those
Absolutely.
movies. That,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yes,
Good
Billy
stuff.
Crystal, if you do see this, please call Meg Ryan. Do another romantic comedy. Do just a fun romp. I don't care. Have you guys be married already and you're just doing so, I don't know, going on a crazy vacation. I don't know what the story could be. You two had great chemistry. Please do it. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. I miss good movies. You have writers. I think Nora Ephron has passed away.
I'm not
But
sure,
my
but yeah.
God, there's got to be a good writer out there that you know that could write movies for you. Something that I'm pleading
Yeah.
with Billy Crystal. He'll never see this, but just in case, I'm throwing that out there. One
Cool.
man's dream.
So, as you can surmise, every this movie has a happy ending.
The perfect ending. I
It
swear to
is
God, it's the perfect ending.
it's good. It's good. I love all the references to Casablanca in this movie.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there's
And
a
how she didn't
lot
like
there.
Casablanca in the beginning, and then as time goes
But
on, he's like, "Well, you
but
said you would never." I would never say that. They each have those moments where I
I
would
love
never
that when
say
they started
that.
talking about it because I'm thinking back on our talks about Casablanca
Yeah,
and what my thoughts on the movie are and everything like that. So it was just really cool to have. It was kind of
yeah,
meta for me to
yeah,
see that. I highly recommend this. This is a
yeah.
wonderful romantic comedy. Uh, you can't go wrong. It's I don't have anything negative to say.
This is probably one of my favorite romantic comedies. This is up there with uh, Humphrey Bogart's Sabrina for me. This is right up there. I
Yeah,
know you don't feel the same way about Sabrina as I do because Humphrey
Sabrina's
Bogart
good.
was old enough to be her dad, but that's beside the point. They fell in love.
That
Shut up.
was that was hard, man. But anyway.
But I like they're not the same romantic comedy. They're completely different. This one is much more a guffaw. You will laugh out
Oh,
loud.
you will laugh. You will
Sabrina,
definitely laugh.
Sabrina, you laughed a couple of times here and there, but it was just a very sweet. It's a completely different, but
It's
they're
a very different
both
movie,
up
yeah.
there for me. But my gosh, yeah, romantic comedies. I think we're going to finish off this month with romantic comedies.
There we go. So,
We're going to do. I think we're going to do Steve Martin next.
yep.
It's not a romantic comedy. Well, I guess it could be a romantic comedy.
Yeah, we'll be
There's
all
a
over
love
the
interest
place
in
this
there.
year.
There's a love interest in there, and then we're going to go back to a romantic comedy. There's
Yeah.
plenty out there that are just. I love a good romantic comedy. I do. I can't help it. I'm a
Yeah.
sucker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, folks, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Thanks again for watching, listening on your favorite platform, not favorite, Flavor Flav, boy. And
Flavor Flav, boy.
we will catch you next week on Old Ass Movie Reviews.
Alarm clock. Bye, folks.